Shalom, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Makah, HaKadosh. Double honor to all the apostles, a great millstone to rule well. Peace, love, and blessings to the brothers on the highways and byways, giving all diligence to make a call and election sure. And blessings to the very few sisters listening, learning, and believing. I was that fellow Abe Kanakla coming at you once again with another lesson, Lord's will, through the spirit and power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Shai's lessons edifying, also exhorting. And this would be on the guidelines of a famine of the word. There was a YouTube outage. Brothers were reporting on it in the chat. All right. Whether it was a partial outage, they were limited. All right. But nonetheless, a disruption did take place. All right. And if I'm not mistaken, among other social media platforms as well. But what the usher is in is a famine of the word. All right. And I'm going to go through a situation that happened recently with Iran and America. That goes to show you that basically going to the point of an internet outage, how that is basically like I guess I should say a war tactic, if you will. All right. So and Lord willing, I've been explaining this more to you as I go through this lesson, read this information from ChatGPT, because the war in America and Iran, all right, it's continued to escalate. So I wanted to ask ChatGPT. It says, how did Iran cut off Starlink? It says, here's the clearest explanation of how Iran was able to cut off or severely disrupt Elon Musk's Starlink service. Something previously thought almost impossible to jam, all right, which that's been exposed. As I say before this, something previously thought almost impossible to jam. So here it is. It happened. It says Starlink is not immune. Iran used electronic warfare. Satellite internet doesn't run through local infrastructure. It goes directly between space and your dish, but that doesn't make it fully unjammable. According to multiple reports from independent monitors and news outlets, Iran deployed military-grade jammers. All right, so as we've been saying, with America going into Iran, this is not going to be Afghanistan, man. All right, or Iraq. Iran is highly sophisticated. All right, a modern, if you will, their capabilities, is they're strapped, so to say. All right, for lack of a better term. All right. So it says military grade jammers, which of course, man, again, they're allied with Russia and China. Okay, it says in electronic warfare systems to interfere with Starlink signals, especially the uplink, downlink, and GPS frequencies that the terminals use to orient and connect to low Earth orbit satellites. This caused severe packet loss and connectivity failures, with disruptions reported as high as 80% in some areas. And that's great. 80%? Shit, when you talking about, that type of ability, shit, 15, 20% is good. But 80%, all right? That's a passing, that's a B. It says these jammers can overpower the relatively weak signals between the terminal and satellites by flooding the same frequencies with noise, making it extremely difficult for the Starlink dish to maintain lock. All right, I don't want to go too much into, make this video too long. But the point is, let's get verse 4.4. I said verse 4.4. It says, it was part of a broader internet blackout. Iran's measures to suppress protests included a comprehensive nationwide internet shutdown that also targeted satellite-based communications as an escalation of its information control strategy. That's why Starlink, often seen as a last lifeline in cutoff scenarios, became a focus of disruption. All right. So it says, can countries other than Iran do this? Potentially any well-funded state with advanced electronic warfare capability could attempt similar jamming, but it's expensive, energy intensive, and requires control over the area where users are located. So here it is. It says it's expensive. Can any other, all right, countries do what Iran did? So how is Iran able to carry out these highly intelligent, sophisticated, all right, operations, expensive as well? How are they able to do that? So go to show you, Iran is the big dog of the East, man. All right, among those nations, okay. When I was about to say one of those Middle Eastern nations, but Iran is Persian. All right, they're not Arabs, but in that region, Iran is the big dog, man. All right. The bottom line: Iran didn't turn off the satellites. No country can do that. Instead, it used radio jamming, GPS interference, and on-the-ground enforcement to disrupt and degrade Starlink service inside its borders during a deliberate effort to isolate countries' communications. All right. So I asked this, right? It says, how would access to internet would have helped the protesters? Because as we know, they just tried to overthrow Iran's government with the sleeper cells that the Israelis had in Iran, right? But it didn't work. So here it is. That's a serious and thoughtful question. Access to the internet can matter a lot during protests. Not because it automatically wins anything, but because it changes information flow and coordination. Here's how it can help protesters in general, any country, not just one case. All right, communication and coordination is key. Communication and coordination. Without internet, people can easily organize. It's like people can't easily organize meeting points. All right, so the communication, and that's what they're gonna do here in the States, man. All right, they're gonna hit that internet, and you can't organize meeting points. You can't. The main point is the communications is cut off, and that's a war tactic. Okay, cut off the enemy's communication. That's what they're gonna do here in Babylon the Great. It says they can't quickly warn others about police movements. And you see that on TikTok. Anything happening, anything popping off, just like the whole ICE agent thing, right? People were reporting, oh, ICE is in this city now. They're in this city. Watch out. What? The internet gives you that ability, all right, to communicate to a vast majority of people very quickly. It says rumors spread faster than verified information. See there? All right. With internet messaging apps allow rapid coordination. So Esau got to cut the internet, man. When he makes his move, Revelation 12:12, the devil coming down having great wrath because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. It says protesters can adjust plans in real time. Decentralized groups can act without central leadership. In modern movements, coordination speed is everything. All right? To coordinate these things, to get them together. All right? Documentation and evidence. When the internet is available, videos of arrests or violence can be uploaded instantly. All right? And that's what you see. You ain't going to be able to document it. When Esau really come down in Babylon the Great, aka America, you ain't going to be able to post the videos of how they mistreating people, because the internet gonna be out. Okay, events can't be live streamed. You ain't gonna be the live, like you see that now when people get pulled over, and the police officers are abusing their authority, and it's, I got everything recorded. I'm recording everything, and that video goes viral. All right, that ain't gonna happen in these times. They gonna cut the internet. It says outside media can see what's happening. When it's cut off, information becomes controlled by the state. Outside observers rely on official narratives. Allegations become harder to verify. In the digital age, visibility often equals leverage. So you get the point, man. The internet cuts off. Internet is shut. It cuts off the communication, the coordination of the people. All right, and that's really the main. I guess I would say system used for communication. That's what's keeping everybody aware. All right, that's what everybody's able to communicate through the internet. And first and foremost, This word is going forth throughout the internet. That's how we able to feed the sheep, to communicate one to another, is by the way of the internet. So the internet is very vital, man. And once it's shut off, as you see YouTube down for more than 240,000 users, this word ain't gonna go out no more, because YouTube is the main channel we use to push this word. So I'm gonna close out with this precept here. This Amos 8:11. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread," even though that actual famine of bread is coming. All right. It says, "Nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea." All right. And you saw that example with Yahushua and his disciples. People went looking for Yahushua. They couldn't find Yahushua. They was looking for his disciples, man. All right. It says, "And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. And that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst." All right. What thirst to the water? The living waters. All right. So you're going to come a time where, and Elder Gabar has been pushing it out there, you're going to get on the YouTube ministry is not forever. It's temporary. It ain't going to be on here forever. All right. Or your time to get as much as you can. St. Matthew, the 25th chapter, the parable of the virgins taking the oil and put more oil in your lamps, because the time is short for this word to be on here, on the web. The internet is going to be shut off soon, and eventually it's going to come back on. But in order for you to get on it, all right, you're going to have that MOTB, Revelation 13 chapter and 16 verse. You're going to have to be verified. All right. And with that being said, everything is going to be more controlled. All right. AI is going to be governed. Everything you say, everything you do is going to be heavily monitored. All right. And if you go outside of those guidelines, your privileges are revoked. Your internet privileges are revoked. That's how that's going to go about. That type of system, oppressive system. All right. Where freedom of speech, the First Amendment, all right, is not going to exist anymore, and it doesn't now. All right, they deem it as HATE speech. All right, whatever the case may be. So you can't say what you want to say already. So just need the right event. It's going to take place. It's going to happen. All right, and I'll leave it there. Lord will us edify, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That one to sell the apostles, great millstone. Please stop and blessings to the elect. Till next time, say shalom.